on the tail side behind the patagium are the same.
Wow.
Gee, it used to be at these that people were using cameras and flash, and now everybody uses phones.
And flash is fine.
So as you can see, she's brown all over. Those brown feathers on the back of the head, the nape, and the mantle are golden brown. She has a few gray feathers here and there. Her tail looks a little bit different from the tail of the one in the photo. And we'll get to that in just a little bit when that tail is changing. She's fantastic.
She came from Wyoming, probably hatched in mid to late March of 2022. Okay, so let's take a look at her tail. Okay. Wow, so she has some adult tail feathers all the way around, stem to stern, so to speak, and then some that are still secondary, like the slide.
Head profile in comparison with other raptors, especially in comparison with that long tail. So the turkey vultures in flight, the wingspan that is comparable to a male golden eagle, the bald eagles. And of course, this bald eagle in front of you looks a lot different from the one in the photo, because the one in the photo is a juvenile, the first year bald eagle. So is really all brown all over with some mottled feathers there, and does not have the bald head. The smudge at the tip. And so this is a really exciting year, because here we are in the middle of October, and probably by next month there will be reports, there'll be sightings of Harlan's hawks coming down here, the Harlan's race. With red bands and a little bit of red streaking through it. And this bird spent something like 10 winters at South Platte Park. So very, very well documented. The bird on the right, a gray tail, with really just got the smudge at the end. But the important thing is that this tail pattern is nothing like a Vereda's hawk. All of the eastern race are quite as white as the one on the left. This bird is the eastern race, and you can see how richly colored that breast is. But can you see, look at her throat, and see her throat is white, but with a dark collar. That is one way to know if it's an eastern, if you're interested. And can you turn around and feel the tail? How the tail is just a few defined areas. They are 2/3 the size of a peregrine falcon, but only 1/3 the weight. They are very slim-winged and slim body also. Kites are warm climate raptors, and so the Mississippi kite is only here in the kind of the late spring is when they arrive. And this one that Anne is holding looks a little bit darker than most of them do. Many of them are really kind of white, and I think, Anne, that Mississippi kites are loved by farmers. And that's
grasshoppers.
And yes, not only grasshoppers, but cicadas, beetles, and Okay, the hood is off. So this is the gyrfalcon.
These guys are all roommates, but the little boys are clearly intimidated by greatness.
So, color morphs of the gyrfalcon, apparently. So I have read. This one looks like it's a little bit darker than the one in the photo. The one in the photo.
This is a black morph.
Oh, that's a black morph.
guy.
And so the light morph is in the photo.
You can get what we call silver birds that are basically white head, white in the front, kind of gray in the back. And that bird is on a greater sage-grouse in Wyoming. That is a male. This is a female. If she were wild, flying, healthy, and not old, she would be 55, 56 ounces. Right to the Fort Collins landfill 2 years in a row. The first year, it had the blue-gray sear and orbital ring, like the prairie and the peregrine. So that's something the three big falcons have in common. It was 2017. A year later, the bird was back. Of course, we're not 100% certain it was the same bird, but it was yellow, it was older. They wander all over the place. Birds from Russia get over to Alaska. Birds come down into Canada. They pop over into Greenland, Iceland, the Faroe Islands. They wander into, Scotland, Northern England. They are all over the place. Pierre, South Dakota, places like that. It's rare for a deer to come here, but it's probably happened 2 or 3 times in the last 15 years. But there's some places that see them every year, like northern Montana. She is 16. She has been a breeder, and she stopped laying eggs. The last year was when she was 14, so she was donated to us earlier this year. And the chief prey of most deers in the Arctic are ptarmigan. You guys have heard of the lynx hair cycles. Most populations, their chief prey is ptarmigan, and they will rise and fall accordingly. That being said, in order to survive in the Arctic, if you're a raptor especially, you need to hunt anything that moves.
Are there other questions?
Yes.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching our Raptor videos. Please subscribe to our channel by clicking on our logo on the lower right side of the screen. Your comments are welcome. They help us improve your Raptor encounters.